So, what are your fitness goals? Do you want to be a bodybuilder or do you want to be an athlete? We've got an athlete over here and we've got a bodybuilder over here. Now, the main difference is the fact that one, the muscle is mostly just for show, and the one is the muscle can actually be used. Now, personally, in my experience, I find being an athlete is a lot more satisfying because while a bodybuilder is fantastic in terms of they can lift massive weight, not trying to shit on bodybuilders here, the one problem is though, particularly in the cardiovascular area, shall you call it, they really do struggle. Like, for example, if you've got two guys, an athlete versus, say, a good example would be C-Bum. Doing a 5K, I know who would win. You know, NHL player, AFL player in Australia, NFL, any of those sort of guys are going to smash a bodybuilder. And the reality is, I can give an example on screen now. You don't have to think of an athlete as some skinny cross-country runner. Great example, the guys, particularly in the NHL and the NFL, they're built like absolute goddamn tanks. They're not bodybuilders, but they're not exactly far off. And they've got all of that explosive movement, jumping, moving side to side, agility, cardiovascular, running short and long distance very quickly. And I know a lot of young men now just see C-Bum or Mike Mensah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and think, oh, yes, I want that. But in reality, fitness goes a lot deeper than that. It's how you move, it's how you feel, how you perform, particularly if you're a young man going into sort of sport, whether it's footy, soccer, hockey, anything, doesn't matter. But it's how you actually perform on game day. And for that, a lot of young men are doing it wrong. They're trying to do these isolation exercises, particularly for their stuff like, a bicep curl or something. Again, nothing wrong with doing that. But what you want to get into are particularly your compound exercises. So, for example, instead of doing something like just your regular pretend it's down, rather than doing something like just a tricep kickback, do a tricep dip. Works your lower chest, works all the tricep muscles, and plus a couple of others. What's another good example? Instead of pull downs, do chin ups. And if you can't do chin ups, do them on the assisted chin up machine. Again, you'll get a lot more activation and you'll be pushing yourself a lot harder. It's all about trying to use as many muscles as once. Again, I'm speaking from a young man's perspective because, well, I am a young man, so I can't really give you the experience of a young woman. I'm sure there are many other YouTubers out there who'll be able to give you a bit of a better perspective on it. But yeah, certainly from my point of view, being an athlete is definitely the way to go, or at least train to be an athlete. I'm not trying to, while I have represented my state in inline hockey, I don't want to get too big of a head on it. But training like an athlete is the way to go. Unless you're specifically going and trying to be a bodybuilder, athlete is the way to go. Because at the end of the day, you'll be a lot happier when you can go around and kick the footy with your mates and not get exhausted. You can go out in the ocean, just swim randomly. Again, some will say that Mike Mensah was a classic example. Yeah, he could run. Yeah, he could, but just not as good as that of, say, an AFL player, NFL player, or even an NHL player. While they do skate, they are extremely fit human beings. There are my thoughts. I very much hope that they've found you well, and I'll see you in the next one.